Howdy, cowboy.
Hey, y'all.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, so we are ready to get into episode number, what we on?
4.
Episode 4. You know, now I don't know if it's going to have 2 parts like episode 3, but we're going to get into episode 4 and we not going to chit chat like we normally do. We're going to dive into this thing. We're going to say, so before we go any further, y'all hit the subscribe button for us. Hit the like button, share it with your friends. That's how you can help us out. Okay. So I am Valerie, the Realist Winn. This is my husband, Walter.
Hey.
AKA the Black Hummingbird.
And I'm going to let them introduce themselves, our good friends.
Lester Jackson and Leslie Jackson.
Hey, y'all.
LJ2. Yes. Y'all see us. We have our rodeo gear on tonight.
What?
Got our rodeo gear on because it is what in Houston? Rodeo season. Yeah.
This is not my kind of cowboy attire.
Okay. Well, what's
This is
your
my wife's cowboy attire?
what's your cowboy attire?
Fancy, flashy cowboy attire.
But you cute, though. But you cute.
What's your cow? He say fancy, flashy.
Yeah, this is like the rhinestone
Yeah,
cowboy.
you rhinestone.
We like it. It's cute. You know.
Yeah.
Listen, you won't be Django.
T-shirt.
You don't need
Cowboy. So
t-shirt, cowboy boots, and jeans.
Yeah,
That's
it.
yeah, that's it. And I've seen cowboys with the baseball caps on.
Oh, and that's him.
with
That's him.
They had to be the form head.
Yeah, the former hats.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's cute. So
That's how I grew up right.
that's a little different. Yeah, I like that. I had the opportunity, because most of you know I'm a professional photographer as well.
And the bomb.
I had the opportunity a few years ago to shoot the handsome men of Simeon Stables, the Cowboys, Black Cowboys.
Oh, yes,
And
the
so
Simeons.
we got to go there and look at the beautiful
Yes.
horses and everything. And I was just honeymoon happy child.
It's a beautiful
'Cause
family.
They were handsome.
Yes.
But y'all know the word cowboys. It come from, back in the day, when white owners used to call the I'm gonna say the black men that was in the fields taking care of the cows and everything. They used to it was a derogatory name. They used to call them cowboys. And it wasn't until Hollywood came knocking in, because we make everything look cool.
Right.
Then they started calling themselves cowboys as well.
They called them cow hands.
Cow hands at first.
Hands.
Yeah.
And then they called the black ones cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I have heritage in that.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was if you from the Beaumont, Jefferson County area, you familiar with the McFaddens.
Yeah.
Well, my grandfather rode in a lot of black rodeos. He was a bareback rider.
Yeah.
And he broke horses for everybody around Texas, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a ranch foreman for the McFaddens for years.
Okay.
So, at 10 years old, I swam across the Intercoast Canal on the back of a horse.
Come on.
Crazy.
Come
Crazy.
on.
That's kind of stuff that we did. We've always had horses.
I know
Fearless.
that's right.
Yeah, so
Fearless. There's no way.
that's kind of stuff that we did. But I mean, that's just what we did.
Yeah.
And so he broke horses for the sheriff of Jefferson County, for everybody around there.
Mm-hmm.
You still mention my grandfather's name, people know it.
And what's his name?
Lester Jackson. I mean, they know his
The same. You his namesake.
Yeah.
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 See, everybody, when you go to Cheeks and China and Nome and all around the areas,
Yeah.
all the old people,
Yeah.
they know.
They know. Now my grandparents on my dad's side, they was in Ebony magazine for the horses and the rodeos and all that other stuff. Yeah. So maybe I'll attach a picture onto this podcast.
Yes,
but
please do.
yeah,
There's a
I
boy
grew up around horses, and every year my dad would buy me cowboy boots. So I'm so used to wearing the boots and the hats and all that, So when he met me, he was like, "This girl, country city, what?"
Yes.
So,
A little bit of everything.
I'm a little bit
I'm gonna tell you
of.
something.
I'm a Renaissance woman.
I know that's
I'm gonna tell
right.
you something, because Okay, my grandfather taught a guy from Griffin.
It's my runaway earring.
Monk Dishman.
Uh-huh.
Monk Dishman was a professional bull rider from Beaumont. So
Okay.
my grandfather taught him how to ride.
Okay.
So, but when I was a kid, I thought everybody did what I did.
Yeah.
And when you find out everybody don't do what you do, you think, God, what did your grandfather do? Y'all
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
until you realize that everybody have their own thing that they do.
Yeah.
But because our circle of people did the same things that we did,
Mm-hmm.
and you go outside your circle and you be like people who don't hunt, they don't have horses, they don't do like,
Yeah.
what do y'all do?
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody ain't country.
Because well, we went to Dallas one year. This was my first time ever seeing my dad just take off on a horse. He didn't even saddle the doggone thing. He
Oh
was
my
just gone, and the horse
gosh.
was gone. And we was like, Daddy, you know, we were so excited though,
Yeah.
Wow.
as kids. And he was
No.
like, okay, well, let me take y'all to go see some other horses and things of that nature. Because we would. That's what when we would go to Dallas. That's what we would do. And I never knew. Daddy had told me it was rodeo season in Dallas. I never knew that.
Yes.
He
So
said y'all
big.
grew up around that. I'm like,
Yes.
we was just having fun.
Just
as
having
kids.
fun, yeah.
As kids.
Kicked
But
my horse when I was probably 12.
oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Oh my God. And the first time, because we used to have horses.
Yeah.
You know, I'm scared of everything.
Okay.
Got on the horse
Uh-huh.
and was with him. Got on the horse with my very first time. He talked me into getting on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. That horse was sweaty, had been
Well,
running.
I had been riding the horse.
He let me fall off of that horse.
Oh no.
I saw my
Well,
life flash before my eyes.
Wait, let me tell you what happened. So we had been riding the horses, you know, and that's a process. When you have horses, you don't just let them sit. You got to ride them.
Right.
So you exercise. I had been riding the horse all day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a big Tennessee Walker. Beautiful horse.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey, that's my cousin Corey Sean's Nana's
I
horse.
told her, I said, well, come on, we're going to get on the horse. So I said, put your foot in the stirrup. So I pulled her up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was sweaty. So the saddle spun.
Mm.
So I hit the ground too.
Both of
I
us.
said, okay, so we grabbed.
I just knew I was gone, y'all. I knew I was gone.
I said, okay,
Your
hold on,
life
just
flashed
hold on.
before
It
your
flashed
eyes.
before my eyes, girl. It seemed like that was the longest fall from that horse to that
I
ground.
tightened the belt back up on, tightened the sister back down. I said, okay, let's go, get back
Yeah.
on. She said, I'm not getting back on. I said, no, we getting back on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get back
And
on.
so she got back on.
Get
but
back
she was
on it.
good.
Yeah.
She was good. She
Yeah.
got back on. But I told her, no, we riding. Let's go. Shit.
I know that's right. Well, y'all, that's our story. And look, huh?
And we still
And we sticking to it.
And we
That's it.
sticking to it. But happy rodeo season.
Yes.
So, no further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into
Yeah.
this next one called Dish It, but Can't Take It. Dish It,
Mm.
but Can't Take It. In our podcast series, we on theme 2, communication and understanding. And we still living, loving, and winning. So we're gonna dive into this thing.
Woo-hoo.
Dish it, but can't take it. Ooh, y'all know what that means. Y'all, we can draw a lot of emphasis to that, but we're gonna start with the first question. It says how to give and receive constructive feedback. Oh, Lord have mercy. I ain't even finished with the question. Without triggering defensiveness. How to give and receive constructive feedback without triggering defensiveness. Who want to tackle it?
It's all right.
Well, you got it.
Well, you know, that is a slippery slope.
Mhm.
Depending on the person who's receiving.
Right, right.
How they view the person that's giving that constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, they have to realize that it is constructive criticism that they're giving and not feel like they're being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you do that, then, you know, like we discussed in the past, you go to, I'm not hearing or listening. I'm hearing
To respond.
Yeah. And so the thing is that when it comes to that, you have to know your mate,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to know how to give that constructive criticism in a way in which they are not offended.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't really taken the time to talk to your mate or anything, then you won't know how to give that criticism because they will think you're attacking.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So with that, in the beginning of the conversation,
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you. Make sure it's in front of you. There we go.
in beginning of conversation,
Mm-hmm.
you always have to understand that you risk the opportunity to be offended.
Say that again.
Whenever you enter into a conversation, you risk the opportunity to be offended.
Mm-hmm.
That is the essence of a conversation in the beginning because it's two people.
Yeah.
So somebody may say something to offend you. You just have to know who you're talking to and who you're dealing with, and knowing that, like, if I'm talking to Leslie
Mm-hmm.
and she approaches me in a certain fashion, then it's up to me to dial it in and choose on the way I receive what she gives me.
Mm-mm.
Now, mind you, it don't always work like that, but that's just knowing.
Yeah.
You know, I have to take the choice and say, okay, because going to therapy, one thing that I've learned is that Leslie's on my team.
That
she
right there.
does
That
not,
part.
she does not mean to tear me down
Mm-hmm.
when she says things to me.
Mhm.
Because I used to take stuff from her, like, because it was from her, it carried so much weight because it was from her.
Yeah.
So I would automatically be offended because I was upset that it bothered her that much. But the fact that it was enough for her it bothered her, she's just telling me.
Mhm.
And she's not trying to hurt me because honestly, she's trying to knock the rough edges off and say, "Hon, you do this. This is not going to work. I don't like this." And women are not like us. Women are much more verbal than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Men can make stuff work. We make it work. It's fine. We keep it moving. We don't talk about every little thing that bothers us, every little thing that comes along, that's not the way women work. Women work they're much more different than that for us.
Right.
So we have to understand that just because she's telling us, we take it at face value, but 5 minutes later, it's gone. It's done. You know, you just have to understand that she's just telling you about it, and it's nothing that's weighty to it. You just have to say, okay, babe, okay, fine, no problem. We worked that out. And that's pretty much all it is. If I did something to offend you, I didn't mean it. Okay, I got it. We're good.
But one
And
thing
you have to understand that's all it is.
one thing we got to be careful that you're not dismissive of our feelings, and our feelings are valid.
Are valid.
Now let me kind of
Now, okay,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go back to that.
Go ahead.
The thing for men is that feelings are valid,
Mm-hmm.
but feelings aren't facts. There are things that are facts.
What?
Hold on. Let him speak.
Feelings are not facts.
Remember
There are things
saying
that are
me.
real. For men, we deal in this is real. Okay, you feel this way right now. I get that. And your feeling is real for you.
No.
But the fact of the matter is this.
No, that is from your perspective. That's putting your spin on it. And it's almost like you're saying that your opinion is going to trump mine. Mine is not the fact. But when you say exactly, but when you're saying what you say is the fact. So it's not fair.
I'm not saying what I feel is valid. I'm saying what a fact is valid.
You're saying
you're making. How do you know it's not a fact? Just because you don't think it's not a fact to you, it could be a fact to me.
But no, but
That's right, because the way you
but
feel
even
is
if it's
real.
a fact to Leslie, you should have the capacity to say, "Hold on, let me check myself to make and understand why my wife is feeling this way."
Oh no! I'm not negating that. I didn't negate that at all.
But how you said it was that it's facts over feelings. You may have said something to make her feel a certain way, and because it's not a fact to you, then it's just Leslie feelings, and you want to dismiss that.
No, I wasn't saying be dismissive. Okay, let me reiterate what I'm saying.
We're gonna. I see already. We get
okay.
And I'm
okay.
Good,
Let's
I'm good
go.
for that sometimes.
That's okay. That's okay.
So what I'm saying is, her feeling can be valid, very much so valid. She feels this way.
Her feelings should be valid to you. Period.
Yes, they are. I'm not saying they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying if you feel okay, if I said that I said this wine tastes bad, or this wine is cheap, okay, or this wine isn't good, okay. Now, if this is a bottle of wine that's slated somewhere and it says this wine has this grade or whatever, then factually, it could not be good wine.
Mm-hmm.
But to her, it's good. You see what I'm saying?
No,
That's a
because
fact.
your taste in wine is a matter of opinion.
But no, there are grades.
That's fine. That's grades, but
That's what I'm
understand
saying.
how does the grades come? That's based on experts and their opinion.
Exactly.
When we talk about our relationship, so that to me that's an unfair comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talking about our relationships, though, Jack, what I look at is don't be quick to be dismissive of my feelings because my feelings matter. Mm-hmm. And when we don't deal with my feelings, that creates a larger problem. You know, because now I'm thinking that, okay, I don't matter to you.
Well, that's not the case.
That may not be the case. But again, when we start talking about facts, if you're dismissing my feelings and saying, well, you know, my opinion trumped that ain't no facts, then if we get into it, I'm gonna shut down. I'm not gonna want to, you know, discuss anything with you. I'm gonna do my own thing, and you don't want that. You want your woman to remain vulnerable at all times, and vice versa, and vice versa. Because I'm gonna be real with you. It's not cool to emasculate a man either.
No.
You know, so as I've said before on this podcast, we have to look at, because the fact is, it is us, because we the team, versus the problem.
Right.
That's how we have to look at it.
That's how we have to look at it at all times. It's us, we the team, versus the problem. Because if we look at it any other way, it's Walt against Val.
Right.
That's right. So what I was, maybe I didn't explain it like I said I should, but like, when she says there's an issue, let's say she has an issue, okay? And I say, okay, this is how you feeling. But the fact of the matter is, this is the problem, right? So if I did something factually, and I didn't factually mean to make you feel that way, the way you felt is valid, but that was not my intent. This is what factually is going on.
Okay. And so you're saying you are explaining what happened or your perspective of it.
Right.
And y'all can imagine when this happens, because this happens. This be real conversations going on. It be going on.
Yeah.
Because I have to pull it out to make that make sense, what you said. And it took a while too, through counseling, for us to learn how to communicate with that. Because when I say we'd have some serious blow-ups behind just some simple disagreements, like we should be able to agree to disagree and not the whole world come tumbling down.
Right.
You know, or we are so angry that we can't speak to each other, and you know, we slamming, and I mean, it's just crazy over something really small because we had to learn how to communicate. Now, at the end of the day, I mean, on this, I don't agree with him on this, but we are at the point to where we can agree to disagree, and it's not like World War III. When it comes down to, you know, the difference in fact and whatever, I think it's just the way that you said it, because it did come across as, you know, my opinion. And I've told you that before, you know, when it comes down to like, you know, chauvinism and all of that, you know, a man's opinion, just because you're a man, okay, I respect you, the man of the house and as my husband, but that don't mean that your opinion is always right or is better.
Opinions. I'm talking about, but just like, okay, if I tell you something,
try to give us an example.
If it's not real. If I tell you something, I feel such and such a way, but you tell me, well, hon, wait, that's not a fact though. The fact is this. This is what really happened.
In other words, it's not his intent.
Yeah.
Even though it's not your intent, doesn't mean
nobody can measure intent.
Nobody. Right. So if that's the case, then we have to be careful again to not be dismissive of our mates' feelings.
Right.
Just because you don't agree with it or you feel like that ain't what you did or whatever, you still have to say
own that point.
You got to say, okay, I made you feel that way.
Right.
And I hear you, but that wasn't my intent. So how do I handle it the next time? And while I'm saying, ask that question, how do I handle it the next time? So we can cross that bridge and get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, if you come out straightforward and say, how can I handle it so this won't happen again? And she tell you, then you have something in your toolbox.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. She said this gonna do this to her. And I'm gonna make that adjustment.
But I don't know if this is the same for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for us, just like what you just said, if
Mm-hmm.
there's a problem, hey, let's speak about this problem, and hopefully he'll say, okay, hon, okay, I hear you. I recognize that there's something that I said or did that rubbed you the wrong way or made you feel a certain type of way. How can I correct that?
Mm-hmm.
But it take 96 more times
I hear you.
before that same thing get corrected.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. We gotta stop taking score.
Shoot.
We have to stop taking score. We cannot continue to take score like that, because you know why? It starts to build, and so whenever it happens again, you got the scoreboard and you're gonna make another mark on that, and all that it's gonna do is build resentment.
Yes, and I agree with you on that wholeheartedly.
I just wanna
But
take
at the
my
end
hat
of the day, I know that exactly what you said is true, because you close yourself off or say, hey, I'm not going to talk to him about X, Y, and Z because of how he may receive it, or so it will harbor resentment. But then after a while, if you don't get some help with it, and you don't both realize that, hey, we need some help to learn how to better communicate, and doing just what we're doing, talking it out with other couples, that have maybe gone through the same thing or not, can give us a different perspective and can also hold us accountable. And say, hey, Leslie, that wasn't right. What you did, that wasn't right how you handled it. Maybe you should have handled it this way, and vice versa. While you might say the same thing with him, we can all do that and collaborate with each other. And that's like iron sharpens iron. We can help each other to grow in relationships, because sometimes it's all about, for example, I can go out and say, hypothetically, the moon is purple.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, no, the moon is not purple.
The moon is
but
blue.
It could take, maybe if Walt come and Walt say, hey, Jack, that moon is purple. He gonna say, Girl, yeah, I ain't realized it, but I see some purple specks in that moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hypothetically saying, sometimes somebody else will come along. They ain't gonna hear us.
Yeah.
But somebody else will come along and say the same thing.
You're right about that. I have
the same thing.
Agree. You are right about that. We have experienced that.
Love you, boo.
We have experienced that.
Yeah. And I think that's just, that's nothing that's unique to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, every couple, because when we're talking about constructive criticism, my thing was proving that I was right.
Ooh.
That's just, I
don't give a damn about the conversation.
I think that's innate for me.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm right.
Yeah.
I ain't whatever you saying. Hey, the light is on. I say no, the light on. And I see the light, like I say, then I say, these lights are on, and I can say, no, they're not. They are. Well, yeah, you know what? You need to understand that the lights are on. Well, we get into a banter now, and I need to win this thing.
Yeah.
But that was because of immaturity.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That was immaturity.
Are you gonna say, the light off in that room?
Yeah.
That's part of this room. So how you can say the lights ain't off?
If the light on, who turned the light on?
Okay.
Yeah. See, you redirect the. You're going all over the world about.
That's called deflection.
Yeah, but you're going all over the world, and instead of getting to the root cause of the problem,
yeah,
you deflecting it.
Yeah, you deflecting.
I'm going to change it because
I want to get this heat off.
Is that called gaslighting too? Right? Yeah. Gaslighting.
Well, I don't know the correct terminology, because we not licensed counselors like that. But I know that's deflection when you are talking one way. And you try to get that heat off of you, so you try to change the subject. Gaslighting, from what I understand,
And blowing up my smoke up somebody else tell me it's barbecue.
exactly. exactly.
That's what
Gaslighting is saying, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And you really not.
Yeah.
That's gaslighting.
Yeah.
You know,
But
gaslighting is saying, I'm going to do it, and you have no intentions of doing it.
Right.
You know, because men will tell you, I'm going to do such and such. And then when it's time for them to do it, oh, girl, I ain't worried about that. That's gaslighting.
Yeah. And see, you know, the difference between that and the way men really, let me say, I can't say all men because all men don't carry the same level of responsibility that most of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Men think about this right here. I'm taking care of this. This is important.
Yeah.
Now, women think about all this stuff.
Yeah.
We
But
the
men
watchmen
think
on the
about
gate.
this
We the watchmen on the
because
gate.
this
What?
is what's pertinent.
We the watchmen.
This is what this is.
We the glue
this
that
is-
hold it all
this is
together.
what's pertinent and what has to happen before the castle falls.
Yeah.
So we take care of this.
Okay,
So-
but wait a minute.
So then all this comes after.
If we up on that fence, because we can go biblical, I can look it up. If we up on that fence and you
I
weren't,
don't want to get started.
Huh?
Let
let me make my point. If we up on that fence and you trying to protect the castle and we telling you, hey, the enemy's coming. The enemy is coming because we there.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to hold it all together with you too, because you're the one that got to go to war. If we telling you the enemy is coming, at what point do you believe us?
And ain't that we don't believe you. We're fortifying where they got to come.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be out there. I still got time to fortify where we at.
Yeah.
So you telling me, you keep telling me they out there. What I'm doing right now is taking care so they can't get through this wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. We take care of that.
Because it should be a team effort.
Uh-huh.
How close are they? How close? How much time do I have?
I have a certain amount. I have a certain distance that I'm going to let them get.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going no further than that
Mm-hmm.
before I engage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we think.
Mm-hmm.
We think I got this much time to take care of this before they get to this point.
And the thing is, y'all look at women are proactive.
Yeah.
We react.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You telling me if you're telling me about something that's not in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's not my number one. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No. It ain't
Right?
no more right now.
Most men, I'm not gonna say all men, but most men don't have the ability to look at several things at one time.
But that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But the thing is we're not gonna do it in your time.
We're going to do it in our
We
time.
have to do it in our time because if we do it in your time, then we take our focus off of what is necessary for right now
Mm-hmm.
and start focusing on
That's
things
out of
that
order.
hadn't gotten here.
It's out of order.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're going to let this thing that's in our face, that is a threat or what have you, we're going to leave that alone. And that's going to
bite us.
decimate us
Mm-hmm.
to look at something that's not even here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
So sometimes,
but we know what's coming down the pipe.
right.
but you know, it has to be just like, I think it has to be just like this here. Because you're proactive and you see it coming, just make sure you keep it before us.
Yeah.
And watch what we're doing. So when we finish that which is in front of us.
Right.
No.
You see, this
No.
and that. It's like when you go to the grocery store.
Sometimes we don't have time to wait.
Well, the thing about a man is most men, they're not going to do it until they're ready to do it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like this. Like I told Leslie one day, I say, because we used to get into this stuff because I would tell Leslie stuff and she say, well, what you talking about? But why? But I say, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you something and you end up getting your head blown off, it's because I told you to move and you didn't move. You asking questions why. That's what's going to happen. And you have to understand because you question. When
But
telling
I
you to
want to
move,
know, like,
move now.
okay,
Don't
in
ask me
his
to-
mind, and I will move when you say move. I'm gonna move. Oh yes, because I know you ain't no punk. So if it's some danger and it's something that you told me to move, oh, I'm moving.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
She didn't like
goodness.
to, but she used to ask all. I'm like, look, I'm telling you something. Don't ask me all them questions. Just do what I asked you to do. That's how you get to stay alive. Because when we go places, I'm always looking. I'm always looking, and it's just a habit for me, you know. And she was like, "What you looking at? What you looking at?"
I was so observant. I'm sure you like that too.
No, I
Yeah.
And she said, "Why you looking all around us? Because I need to know where we moving to. Where we going? I need to know what's that way out."
My back to the door.
Never. He never does. Oh, never.
You put me in a corner where I can see the whole,
Yes.
Whole place.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be in.
Yeah.
I got me an exit play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
we definitely feel safe with y'all. We definitely feel safe.
I think the thing is when, like when Jack says that move, and you want to say, well, why we got to move? I think that has to do with just trust the move.
Exactly. Just trust the move.
It's a level of trust.
Let me just bring it. I ain't trying to be religious in it, but let's just bring it to a biblical standpoint.
Okay, come on with it, girl.
We have people in the audience want that biblical standpoint.
Okay.
In other words, we don't want to be Lot's wife.
Oh no!
Because see, he said to move and don't look back.
And what did she do? She looked.
Oh no! Oh, you know who else you don't want to be? You don't want to be Sarah when Cody told her to move. Okay. She told she was her baby and she laughed. Mm-hmm. She got that smite in her face.
Yeah.
You see?
And for those of you in the street, we're gonna go back to the song "Move."
Get out the way.
Get out the way. Because it's coming.
You always gonna come with a sound for somewhere.
Better move.
Get out the way.
Immediately. That's our walking jukebox right there, boy.
One of them hot ones.
It's the funniest thing. Oh my goodness.
But what define constructive criticism? Let's look at the definition. How do you define it? Because what I found is everybody look at constructive criticism differently.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I'll tell you from
I can look at
working. I mean, I Walter worked in a managerial situation, and I've received it and I've given it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm telling you something that's going to for the betterment of you, you may not like the tone I deliver it in, especially if I'm at work. You may not like my tone, but understand we have a something that we have to get done that you're not meeting the qualifications, you're not meeting the goal for. So I'm telling you what you need to do to get there. Now you may not like it, and you may not, because I'm very straightforward when I'm at work. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you for the betterment of you and for the betterment of what we have to do. So you can understand that this is a teachable moment for you. Mm-hmm. Now, what could be happening is you could be getting paperwork in your life. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm just coming to talk to you and tell you what you should be doing. That's constructive criticism.
Okay.
You know.
So I looked it up using Chat GPT, and it says constructive criticism is feedback that is intended to help someone improve rather than just point out flaws.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It focuses on providing specific, actionable suggestions in a respectful and supportive way. Mm-hmm. Right. The goal is to encourage growth, learning, and improvement while maintaining a positive and productive relationship.
Mm-hmm. That has to do with it a lot with delivery is what I've learned. You have to learn how to take a moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm bad about this. It's hip hop in my head. Sometimes it's coming right out.
Yeah, no,
but I've had to learn, but I'm saying like in relationships with us, in any relationship, not just marriage, you know, you have to, if you feel like you need to give someone some constructive criticism, number one, you do have to consider who you're talking to, because a lot of people are not receptive to that at all.
Right.
Any type of constructive criticism, I don't care how you deliver it to them, because they just don't like nobody telling them nothing. And the maturity level of that person that you're giving it to, does that person understand where your relationship is and that you are giving them this in love? I feel like it has a lot to do with your delivery. And to be honest, sometimes you can go out your way to be as nice as you can, to be as loving as you can, to deliver this constructive criticism and go out your way to try to affirm that this is something that I'm doing to help you. I'm not trying to tear you down or hurt you, but sis, you know, you always have boogers in your nose or something crazy like that. Or, you know, something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that don't look good on you, or, you know that skirt is too short or something, anything, whatever it is, it's in the delivery. You know,
it's in the delivery, but also it could actually be what the person is saying, and where let's talk about bringing back to marriage or relationships, is how, if I'm telling Walt something because it's coming from me and he wants to always be in his best light for me,
right,
that can hurt him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how it is.
You know, and I think for a lot of times, you know, especially when we first got married, I'm gonna say the first decade or so, everything I said to him, he always took it as an attack.
Ooh,
You
that
know,
sounds
and
so familiar.
And so the thing is, Walter tell you, well, it was the maturity. What we found in therapy was that it was Walt protecting the child of his childhood too.
Yeah.
It wasn't always just, he as a little boy, he was protecting the little boy that's in him.
Aww.
And the thing is, me being who I am, you come at me with something, I'm protecting, little Tot. I got to protect Tot because Tot always had to, fend for herself and fight back, because my brothers used to say, go on, girl, with all that, because I was the only girl. Yeah. So I find myself, well, hold on. And instead of nurturing that inner child and saying, okay, these tools that worked for me when I was a child, I'm a grown ass man now. I don't need them. Instead of him doing that, it was an attack. It was an attack. And the thing is, we had to learn how to get over that. It was no sweeping. At one point, we couldn't sweep it under the rug anymore.
Okay.
We got to deal with this because every time I come to you and I'm telling you this is what it is, you always get mad, shutting down or whatever. And we learned that the way that he was fighting, not necessarily me, because I can go. The way he was fighting with the silent treatment, it wasn't fair. It wasn't a fair fight, because I wasn't good with the silent treatment. So I had to learn to give him the space he needed and then come back to the problem when he was ready to talk. And then Walt had to learn you can't take 2, 3, 4 days, a week, a month to come back to it.
Yes.
Because that's unfair to me.
It is.
Because you're leaving me in a place of uncertainty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how men operate. We'll shut down.
But just because you say that's the way y'all operate, don't mean that that's not something. If you know that, hey, I need to work on this. That's not in.
No, because I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because, okay, women, like I say, women are y'all verbal. Y'all very, very verbal. And let's be real. For a man to get into a verbal argument with a woman is pointless because you're never gonna win that. Because you're gonna always out talk us, and we're gonna get to the point to where you're gonna get to the point till we frustrated, so we done talking, and we shut down. Because when men get into an argument with other men, the talking gonna stop at some point. It's going physical at some point. So we can't do that with you. So we just shut down and back out because we at that point now. We don't want to talk no more. So and then it takes us. It just don't roll off of us like it rolls off of y'all. It takes us some time to decompress, to get that out of our head, to calm down and all the other stuff. And then you come back and say, hey, we need to finish talking. And you're like,
The thing
because you don't like the confrontation.
No, but I gotta be honest.
And you gotta go through that fire to get on the other side. You gotta go through it.
Confrontation ain't the issue. Because men deal with confrontation on a daily basis.
No, I mean with me, you don't like to hear some things. Let's say dish it, but can't take it.
Ooh, we back on that subject.
You might not like to hear that. So then that would be a problem. That might be one of the things that made you just like, okay, I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm done talking. I'm such and such. Because maybe you wasn't hearing what you want to hear. Or maybe I was stepping on your toes.
Now that's a key there. Because from my experience, why I would get frustrated, it was because of self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because when you don't think of yourself, when you don't value yourself the way you should be, and then you get the constructive criticism, you're not going to take it as it.
Oh yeah.
Because no matter who gives it,
right? Because the way you feel about yourself initially,
and so that's not your mate's issue. That's
your issue. Yeah,
you have to heal yourself.
Yeah,
right. And so the thing is, what it does is that it picks that scab off.
Yeah.
And so you're like, you know what? I just don't have the capacity to talk about it.
Right.
Even now, tomorrow, or next week.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm gonna go right back to that scam.
Yeah.
And so the thing is what you have to do is, as a man, you have to say, you know what, something up with me.
Right. And a lot of times you have to do, because and for men, that's the hardest thing for us to do, is to look in the mirror and say, okay, we gotta, and I think I can't say for men only, I think for people in general, to look in the mirror at yourself and say, there's an issue that I need to work on. Because you have so many people that say, I need to change this, I need to change this, I need to change that, but they don't ever do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. But when you look in the mirror and you have to own and come to yourself and say, I need to change something about me. Mm-hmm. Because this ain't working. It's worked this far, but is it working like it should be? Yeah. And you have to ask yourself
is it working like it should be?
And when you ask yourself those questions, can I do something different? Can I be better?
Can I do something different?
Yesterday? And the only goal you should have, and I believe, is to get to see the best version of yourself and be better than you were yesterday. That's all.
Yeah.
And you can't ask no more than that for yourself. But you can't cheat yourself, and you cannot, because I always say, your mind knows where you're going to quit it. Mm-hmm. And if you can't beat your mind, you really can't beat your mind, you lose it. Because your mind knows your weak points. Mm-hmm. And if you can't push past that shit, you're never going to get nowhere.
Yeah.
But the key is that you can't overlook the questions that you ask yourself.
Right.
Those are key questions.
Because what makes it feel like an attack when we're telling you something about you? Because if there's something about you that's bothering me, and I say, babe, this is bothering me. I didn't like when you did such and such, or I don't like when you do such and such. Why does it come across? Or what? We don't have that problem now. But what I'm saying, why did it come across? You mentioned self-esteem, but why did you see it as a personal attack? Because see, here's my thing. I love you. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to attack you? Why would I want to intentionally hurt you? Mm-hmm. So my thing is, why do you see this as an attack? Because I'm bringing it up so we can correct it and get better. And not only am I bringing it up just so you can correct it, I need to know what I need to do if it's coming from me to make the adjustment.
Do you know
ask you like that?
The thing is that the true definition of what you're doing, we're going to define it as an attack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why we're going to define it as an attack is because it comes from a place of hurt from us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because we feel like, so to get you off of, that's why I'm going to define it like an attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. But what it is that it is a mindset of, I'm letting it down.
Right. Yes. 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 So then in turn he flips it on you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's that.
Damn, what I done now? You're like shit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and so I'm saying, verbally you're saying, damn, what I done now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it seems like you're saying that, but what you're saying is, what I done now.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's coming across as what I done now.
Yeah, exactly.
But
inside you're saying, "Oh Lord,"
not blaming you, but blaming
myself.
Yeah,
because you can't berate me no harder than I can beat me. Yeah. You can't beat me no harder than I can beat myself. I'm gonna let you know that now. You will never outbeat me.
But here's the thing,
I'm gonna beat me way worse than you can.
But here's the thing: instead of y'all saying something to us, y'all start arguments. Y'all blow up.
No, we don't ever start arguments. No.
When we bring in this up constructive criticism, when we're bringing a problem, you start arguments because you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, because
you get offended and you don't want to talk about it.
Walt used to be like, I don't have time for this today. Val, you always coming in here with something. You always coming in here.
Me, that's why you're laughing.
You always
that's why
coming
laughing.
in here with something. What's that?
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm coming in here with something because you did something
that
hurt my feelings.
This is deep, y'all.
And my feelings matter.
Because, when you talk about that scab, you talk about that, like it's an attack on that little boy within you. Mm-hmm. You know what that is a lot of times? It stems from your upbringing.
That's what I'm talking about.
It stems from your upbringing.
Yeah.
And it is so much deeper than that because there are things not necessarily that we see from our parents, but it can be from a behavior that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't even realize, when we become adults, that we exhibit some of those same behaviors or we become those people that we said we didn't want to be alike.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Because I can give you my personal example. Only child.
Hold on. Because I'm cold on this side. Let me have that remote right there. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Only child.
I'm only child named after my father. Who was a So I see all the my parents divorced when I was 9 years old. So see all that he did. I'm his namesake.
Yeah.
When
Sounds so familiar.
When I see from him, there's nothing positive. Yeah. I'm running away from that. So when I'm doing some of those things, not necessarily playing around or anything like that, but exhibiting some characteristics that he does and it's brought to my attention. Yeah. It's like, this is what I'm running away from. Yeah. This is what I'm at. And now I'm fighting to be fine. I'm trying to find out who I am.
Right. Oh yeah. You still learning who you are.
Then you bring constructive criticism on something that I recognize in him. Right. Now,
and let's just stop. I want to stop calling it constructive criticism, and I want to call it my concern. Because my concern is not a criticism. I'm concerned about something that you're doing, and we need to handle this. And you're looking at it as criticism. Even constructive criticism is supposed to be something that's positive, but you're looking at it negatively.
But should we then? Okay, on that right there, I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said. Then here's another spin on it. Let's take it this way. Then instead of going in to it as a criticism, then you would address it and say, I got a concern.
I got a concern.
Can we talk about something? And then I saw this on a young one time. And this lady was telling her husband that his sons stay in the room and play the game all day. They don't come listen to her and do what she needs him to do. She said, Yolanda stopped her. She said, wait a minute. Let me show you how to handle it because you're not talking to him right. And she sat down next to him. She said, I have a concern. She said that your sons are not being the men that I think that you would want them to be. I need you to show me how to help you fix it. Because they're sitting there and they're not conducting themselves like the man that you are. So show me how to help them.
So that builds him up.
Right. And she said, that's how you handle him like that. She said, if you handle a man with your femininity, you get way more out of him. Him aggressively. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes it takes maturity. It takes a while. Sometimes
you have a concern that and come at him differently, like come at him like that. His ears perk up because you worried about something that you wasn't concerned about. Now, okay, wait a minute. Baby's worried. What we need to fix?
Yeah,
because that's what makes you that triggers that thought.
Yeah. Because I found that it's the language that we choose.
Right. It is.
It's the language. It's the language. It's the tone. It's our delivery. All those things.
Words have meaning. Words have meaning for a reason.
Right. Yeah. Because we can sit here and say, "What?" Because he used to say, "Val, why are you criticizing me?"
Yeah.
I'm criticizing you, but I had to learn. Wait a minute. This is my concern. Right. Now, when I hit him with that was like a breakthrough.
Wait a minute. We can fix the concern. Let's get that.
Yeah, that was like a breakthrough. But
because if you concerned about something, because see, y'all are our priority. That's it. This next to God and us, that's it. Y'all are priorities. So when you tell me you have a concern about something, okay, now my attention is there. I need to see what we need to do to fix this.
Yeah.
So if I can fix it right now today, then I'm fixing it today. Let's get that done.
Yeah.
So, but it's easier when you come at me like that because now I don't feel like I'm on the defense that you finna attack me with some shit.
Yeah.
You just let me know that we have a concern that I'm worried about.
Because, child, if you just come, Walter, didn't I tell you such a...
Yeah.
That's an attack.
That's an attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they see that.
You telling me, wait.
You know, but when you come... Hey, we need to talk about something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got, he might get tight in the chest if I say it like that. But I noticed it when I said, I have a concern.
Yeah.
One thing that Walt does, because he still do it, me and my hat. One thing that he
Your
does,
hat is so cute.
He used to always, I felt like, make me the butt of his jokes. So, and I told him, I say,
laugh with y'all though. You can laugh with each other though.
No. When we get in a group of people, then
that'll make you mad.
To be the comedian and to break the ice.
Did you do something funny?
It may have been funny to Walter, but it wasn't funny to me.
You.
And it was embarrassing. And he would take whatever was embarrassing to me. Okay, I'll give y'all an example. I'm bearing Walt's children. I'm giving, I'm delivering his children, and we have to do the whatever. So Walt had this running thing that, man, in that hospital room, I just wanted to get some breath mints for Val. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in labor.
You're like,
I have asked for ice chips because ice chips help you with that.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten the ice chips, but then
I was comforted.
no, baby,
shame
no. So
on you. And she is in labor delivering your child, your children, and you gonna talk about she needs some breath. She trying to breathe.
He would say, I need like a little squirt bottle. I'm gonna make y'all laugh. He used to say, I need like a little squirt bottle of Listerine. He said, if I could just have that if I could have just had a little squirt bottle of Listerine, I could just.
Let me tell you something that we do.
No,
okay,
wow.
Let me tell you something we do.
No, wow. You wrong. You wrong. You wrong.
What happens a lot? I know. Now I'm gonna say for me. I don't know Walt. I probably believe Walt probably like this too. When we get nervous, we make jokes.
Yeah, that's it.
To lighten the situation.
Yeah.
Because I do it, let's get shamed.
You get nervous?
Jokes.
Yeah, it's like I do.
But that's fine. But I don't have to be the joke.
Yeah, don't make me the butt of your joke all the time.
Don't make me the butt of your joke.
It's just a thing that was right there. It wasn't about you.
See, let me see. Let's talk about this shit, but can't take it.
Who wants to have bad breath in the delivery room?
Because I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to be okay if I did that.
Okay, let's talk about it.
That's not going to be okay if I did that. And clowning with him like that, some things is going to make him mad. And I'm just not to do that with him. There is no way. But see, but this would be the thing. See, he been and said something crazy like that. When I went off, guess what he gonna do? He gonna go off too.
I'm gonna tell you,
he gonna go off too because I didn't went off because I didn't call him out on something he said that was ridiculous.
Let me tell you. Let's bring it on back.
Insensitive.
I made it. That's time we talking about dishing but can't take it on Sunday. We hanging out with Tanya now, right? So we talking about celebrities or whatever. And I said, I made the statement, I treat celebrities like they regular people.
Right.
And I do. Walt knows this. He know that I think I'm more important than the celebrity. Walt knows this. But then this joker, trying to be funny, says, you didn't do that with Mandices. I say, wait a minute. I had to talk to Kevin Gates and whoever else. Man, DC
what you call his husband?
Yeah, the man. And that's what I was calling him.
Where you from, man? Yeah.
When we was at the Galleria?
Yeah,
that's what I was calling him, Yandy man.
Okay.
I said, ain't that Yandy? Because first of all, Kevin Gates had a dog. Okay. I was in the store with my son. What's the name? House of Hoops. Ain't he a rapper?
Child is.
Yeah, okay. Well, a lot of young people like his philosophy. Okay. But the little dog kept messing with me. And I say, who dog is this? And he said, "Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry." And he was real polite, and he talked to me, and he talked to my son. And then, man, Desus told me I was a pretty lady. And I said, "Thank you." And Jalen said, "Do you know who that is?" I say, "No." And I looked at him. He said, "Look at him." I said, "Oh, that's Yandy Man." And that's how I looked at it. And then they was like, "Why you didn't take a picture?" So he was just kind of standing around. Right. And I went on ahead and got the picture. But Walter tell you, with me and celebrities, I don't get excited like that. But anyway, on Sunday, he decided that I was excited to meet men DCs. I say, no, I was not.
Did that make you feel some type of way?
And I was like, no, I wasn't. And so they cracking up laughing. Everybody cracking up laughing. And I'm saying to myself, number one, I don't like this because now I done sat here and said, I don't do that with celebrities and you making a liar out of me because you see a joke. You see an opportunity for a joke. So I was a little pissed about it. You know, so I didn't let him live it down for a hot second. And then I got, wait, no, that's enough now. Yeah, I kept bringing it up. I said, don't do that to me. I don't. The bottom line of it was, I don't like being the butt of.
Riding it.
Oh, yes, you can ride.
Wait a minute now.
I don't like being the butt of your jokes. Don't do that to me.
What you just say?
You can't keep riding it. We just talked about
You can't keep riding it. If you keep making jokes.
Yeah.
If you keep doing it, what she didn't ask you one time, but it take 45 times for you to stop. Men, what you mean she can't keep riding it?
But when the last time I made a joke besides that?
That was okay.
You hadn't. And so you had gotten out of that habit. So why would you try to pick that habit back up? And so that's why I was on your
because I felt that was my truth.
That's you gonna make me cuss. You gonna make me cuss. You gonna make me cuss because that's not the way they went down. And even my daughter said
that was not your truth because she didn't act like that when she seen you in the man.
Even my daughter say, "No, that's not how they went down." She came to my rescue, and I'm glad she was there. But the bottom line of it all is, you sitting here. And you didn't say, "Oh, you was all over the man decent" at the time we met, and this was years ago. And I wasn't. I was just trying to get the picture. He had to take the selfie or whatever, but he was a nice man to talk to. But I hadn't talked to other people. Walter have a story with, what was the beard? What was his name? What's his name?
James Harden.
Yeah, I don't be impressed by them dudes. I don't be impressed by them people. Mm-hmm. They're celebrities. Mm-hmm. They human just like us.
Yeah.
And so that's the point I was making. This joker made a joke, and boy, the kids was eating it up. Sonya's kids was cracking up laughing.
I know they
were. Yes, you did with me. I'm like,
see, he's a clown. He's a clown. Like him too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you again. I'm telling you again.
But he didn't like the way that clown
do that
show
to
ended.
you.
Mm-hmm.
He could do that to you, but if you did it to him and you had already asked him not to do it, it would be a problem. He would not be able to take it. Mm-mm. I promise you. I know. I mean, it's just, and we talked about this on the way here.
It'll be all right, Val. That's enough.
Yes,
that's enough. That's what he said. When I kept on with because I'm what you had called me. A group of Mendices is what that's enough. That's enough. No, I said that, and you was like, "Oh, you still on that?" That's enough. It was enough when you said it.
Sometimes I don't know. Like for us, I think as women, when our spouses say, he doesn't like for me to curse. Okay, he doesn't think that's not ladylike, feminine, and don't curse and talk to him. But wait, no. This is the thing. I cannot curse. I can curse. Okay, I can do my grown woman thing.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking to him and I'm trying to either get a point across, constructive criticism, and I start using curse words, oh no, boo, he can't stand it. So sometimes I do it just because. So.
No, I just don't come with conversation though.
He will shut the conversation down. Look, why y'all laughing so hard? Because that's the truth.
The way you said it, the emphasis.
No, sometimes I do it just because. Let's talk about it. And I didn't really want to go into this direction.
No,
but since we on this, we can't take it.
We still on this, but can't take it. We still on that first question.
We're gonna talk about something a little different, but this is real. Let me tell y'all.
We on 59 minutes. We're gonna have to do a part two.
Might have to go to part two. Because this shit can't take it. I mean, and I want to tell y'all this because we real. We came on here and we said our goal for sharing our experiences as married couples and our journey is so that people out there in TV land
yes
can see, even if it's one couple.
Yeah.
That maybe something that you are going through or have gone through. That you're not the only ones, and you can get through it if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you put in the work.
You have to put in the work.
You have to put in the work. You can't be so quick to throw in the towel if you're really committed.
Right.
And that's at the end of the day, if you're really committed, love hides a multitude of wrongs.
Yeah.
And let me just tell y'all.
But hold on, Leslie, before we go. Before you get into it, we're going to go ahead and give y'all this part 1, and then we coming with part 2. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: we're gonna drop both of the podcasts in the same week. I'm not gonna drop them one week and then the next week. We're gonna drop both of them. Okay, and maybe a few days after the other one. Okay, it won't be like it was the last time. But we trying to keep y'all to an hour. We trying to stay on that, so we're gonna be good. So y'all stay tuned for part 2. All right, y'all give it up. Part 2 is coming. Woo!
Yay!